Hey, so you wanna play? You see my name?
Tome of Amnesia.
Tome of Amnesia. I don't get
Yep.
it. I think for the most part, I have farming pages on everyone, so that's gonna be a little bit meh. But I've also gotten a lot of ERP, so I should be able to that pretty well. Main thing is I can't transfer like any of my good like gear, and I don't have any costumes, so I have to hope that we get costume stuff for elsewhere soon. Let me open up Twitch on my phone. Wait. So today, chat, YouTube gang, just so you guys know, because I didn't really do like an actual introduction, is it might be a shorter stream, slash hopefully it'll be a shorter stream because we get everything figured out. Last time, if you remember, we gave up. We're back. Ooh. We still have some annoying achievements to go for. Namely, I guess, the one for the getting level 2 on all of the titles here. And the main ones that are going to be annoying is the true characters, because it requires us to play each character like 150 times, which shouldn't be terrible. But then we have to defeat 2,500 enemies in every character, which is going to be pain, but hopefully not too terrible. The getting the most, the highest equipment enhanced equipped, we have to get at least 30, which means we have to have every piece of equipment at least plus 6, or some of the other equipment, like higher level to, make up for it. So that's going to be a bit annoying, if not really annoying. But we made a list of what we're missing, so hopefully it won't be too bad. Some of the other ones are like evading attacks and stuff like that, which would just be very tedious. However, we did learn, again, we don't know how effective it's going to be, that there's ways of setting like characters to basically auto, and we can set them up on those class 4 islands to hopefully essentially AFK some of the things. Specifically, the things being potentially the true things, like the true characters, because apparently you can set 2 to semi-auto. Is that what you said, Jared?
Yeah.
Where it counts as like both, which is pretty good. Second, attacks evaded. If we just sent them to defense and just sit there for like however much time, they should be just sitting there evading attacks and healing. So hopefully that'll be good. And it should use like some of the arts that we don't feel like using. And again, defeating enemies, all that stuff. Most of them, I'm thinking we need to, on whatever 4 characters, or maybe even all the characters, just disable their physical moves for them. Because the enemies in the class 4 island reflect physical. And I think that's the only thing they reflect. So basically disabling all the physical moves. But then it should also give us money for the money achievement, slash money to buy the elixirs to max out the shop level. So hopefully that'll be okay. Hails coins, I'm still not sure how we plan on doing that. Because that might be really annoying. If we can do fishing, that might be easier, or it might just be legitimately sitting there farming for like 2 hours. But if that's really the last achievement that we have to get, I think I'd be fine with that. Yeah. Starting though, I feel like our best bet is enhancing and dismantling pretty much all of our gear, because we need to clear it up. So, I'm gonna lock anything that I don't have mastered, but I don't know if there's a specific really good way of doing it where it doesn't like adjust a bunch. It's kind of really annoying, but whatever. And Jared did say we had to get some things to +3, but I think I'm just gonna ignore that until we do our actual farming. I feel like we might as well farm the resource all these cheap things. And We'll have to just go and farm for the specific things we need. Stop setting me all the way up at the top. Yeah. Point is, this entire thing is going to be uber tedious. But I want to do it. Validate never doing it on any Tails game again. And I've committed this much, so sunken cost and all. But if Zestria is this annoying, and if it isn't like fun or interesting to do, then 100% we're just not going to get all the achievements in Zestria. Same with Berseria and stuff. Like, I wouldn't mind doing like super bosses again, as long as they're not impossible, or, you know, we'll see. But I don't really plan on going for all achievements if it's going to be this bad. Because the first Tales game I went for everything was Tales of Arise. And that was not that bad. Enhancing accessories. I guess I just went in a very weird order. Yeah, I like this stuff for like the equipment learning speed and the drop rate, but I still don't think it's worth keeping around. A lot of luck. That's not a lot of buff. And it's fine if I accidentally hit the thing and get rid of our current plus thing. Because we're probably going to be going for different things anyway. I just prefer not to. This really is going to take forever, by the way.
Kinda will.
Because just enhancing all this stuff takes a lot of time. Technically, I know I can also sell some of this stuff. And I know specifically this mithril stuff, I'm gonna have maxed out fragments really easily. So if I don't get any extra things from them, then do we know if getting them to +3 or whatever is super worth it?
What do you mean?
Like, if that's the thing, or is it specifically +5 that we want?
I think it's +5.
I'm just gonna get these adamantite things to +5 since, like you said, they're really not that hard to get up there. Like I said, this will be a lot easier once we just start farming like a specific easy dungeon just to farm like, say, a bunch of amber stuff. Accessories, specifically Magulu has a bunch that you can get rid of. I might save some of those Mithril ones to enhance more. What are we looking to get from these +5s? It still gives standard tempering powder.
Doesn't the other stuff give coarse tempering powder?
Okay. I was comparing it to my other random thing I had equipped, but it happened to be +5. Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay, nice. And it also gives a lot of fragments. Magulu stuff. I think we can get some of this, please. That did seem pretty worth it. Probably want to get a good unnamed thing. I think this one's probably the best. Let's not upgrade this. Why am I going this? That was dismantle and not enhanced. But you know what? It's fine. It's not that big of a deal. I do wonder if it's even worth... I mean, it's probably worth upgrading our high stuff, but I think I'm not going to worry about enhancing anything under, like, Mithril or Adamantite. Because that'll save me a good bit of time. And I feel like I don't need those resources much, and like I said, if they're less than that, I'll probably be farming for them anyway. I don't know why I have to have a million mithril spears. Okay. Upgrade any of these if we can to +5. Okay, sweet. Think we really need any of these? Is there any bonus for doing things above +5 that I would need?
I don't think so.
What's my best? Grab that. I was gonna do that. I don't think I need this other thing. I feel like they really should do some of these resources later, to where dismantling only gives you like one of the resources you need, not like all the resources you need.
Yeah.
Like say if I just got like the fragments or whatever, it's like that's fine. It's like the fact that you have to like get all the tempering powder and everything too. And then also the however many accessory slots to see what kind of like other thing you get, like the odorless fluid or whatever. Kinda tedious. It always feels like I'm doing the wrong thing. Like if I decide to enhance the +5, it feels like the wrong thing, but also feels like the right thing, but I also don't think it really matters. Because all the things that I'd want, like, oh, more void scraps for the unnamed stuff, but then it's like, I can't get them to +5 if I wanted to, because I need to dismantle the other ones to get the pieces to upgrade the ones to +5 for then it to be worth it. So,
I drink.
it is. And then the cycle of pain. Hey, I can dismantle all this. What a 78 blade. I also don't know if I even went through enhancing that. That's not what I wanted to do, but, you know. Maybe the enhancement thing won't even take that bad, because I feel like most of the things I was missing was just that standard tempering powder. Fragments are gonna be climbing. I'm pretty sure I also get a whatever things. Some of the titles for dismantling and enhancing. I don't have maxed out. I think I have tier 2s though. I'm definitely gonna at least do a quick save here before going back into purgatory. Okay. We have armor and rings and boots. To be fair, I don't think it's as terrible with rings. I think I might just try and keep all my rings. However, I'm gonna save. I don't think I enhanced anything over here. I have that maxed out. I don't think there's any reason to save any of this equipment. Get the heck out of here. Okay, we already have a good standard tempering powder. Eventually get this up to the standard again. Quick save, and then we'll go to shoes, and then we should be wrapped up during. I know.
Uh-huh.
Gonna be crazy. mastered. I'm not getting rid of anything that's actually good. I don't know why I chose 5 pairs of battle boots. We did. Shake something? Pardon? Ban that guy.
He's Tycoon, isn't it?
Maybe. Maybe not, though. It's like make some noise, but shake some hole, you know?
Uh-huh.
Tycoon gets it. My people are running away from me. I'm just gonna enhance this stuff, just so I don't have to keep scrolling past it. I have a lot of mithril boots. Why do I have so many mithril boots? It really doesn't even use that much standard tempering powder, like at all.
I feel like you're going back.
That's actually really good for boots, because that means we have boots maxed. Not maxed out, but above where they need to be. I mean, to be fair, I think also enhance adamantite fragments. I don't feel like that's really that worth it then. And one more ring. That's one that has the effect. I think those do. Unless there's any reason to equip him more. I'm not gonna get rid of all the rings, I don't think. Actually, is everything. And that's literally the only ring is the pinion ring on. I pretty much could get rid of rings. Require fluorite, calcite. Enhance rings, I think. Get rid of the rest. I bladed rings so crazy. I think we're gonna have the fragments for that.
Guy never has enough fragments.
That's what I'm saying. I think they're going really well in the enhancement department, though. Oh no, I didn't. I'm just saying in the sense that we actually have a lot of stuff like enhanced pretty high level now. So we might not even have to do any farming for it.
Sounds pretty good to me.
Because basically, as of right now, we have everyone's pair of boots and rings for everyone that are +7. And I think if I just upgrade whatever I had before, we might honestly be fine. This requires... well. We need armor, which I think I mostly had maxed out. That's one mithril waistcoat. Now I just need. I could enhance this adamantite stuff, but I don't know if that's exactly what I want. We can get those to 6. Do that, and then we just need armor and accessories. With that, we should be good there. We don't have anything for Rokro just because we didn't actually level it. Same with, To be fair, I could level this talisman, but I don't think that's super worth it. I think on some people we need accessories. I think most people have A +5 for weapon. Yeah, we're gonna need to do a little bit of farming for some people. You wanna write down names, dude?
Yeah. Ready.
So wait, let's do the math first. If I have +7 rings, +7 boots, and +7 armor, what does that give me to? 21. So that means I just need, what, 9 levels split between their armor and accessory, or their weapon and accessory? There's a +5 and a +4. Expected that to be a lot less that I'd have to get, but you know what, that's fine. So a +5 and a +4. Okay. On Eleanor, she's done, so we don't need to write her down. On Magulu, she's also done, because I can just give them their stuff. However, for Aizen, we need both.
Weapon and accessory.
Mm-hmm. On Laphicet, we need an accessory +4.
Okay.
On Rokuro, we need an accessory. I think +4. Yeah, an accessory +4. And then on Velvet, we're done. Huh?
Simple enough.
Mm-hmm. But we don't even got to do all that right this second. But the fact that we've reached that is very good. Now what though? Now is it trying the farming methods? Or is there anything else we tried before that? Because we did enhance, we did dismantle, and we got a lot from it. Because now we should be, again, basically done that except for those couple of people. So if we just farm cheap accessories like the amber ones or whatever, we should be fine.
Yeah.
We still need money, we need tails coins, we need the shop. Which at least the money in the shop should be from the farming. And then we technically need these gears for the things, and it's just AFKing for some of these, Okay. Well, you said the first island, just because it's the easiest?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll try it. What's the first island considered? The Aberrant?
Probably.
I don't have all of them unlocked, so I don't know which one's technically the first one.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Uh-huh. Okay. So how should I do it? Because I can't start auto, can I, or can I?
I don't know.
Okay, let's see. If I go into this, not that. I think it's parts. So I can change the control mode to auto to where it'll just start auto, but that doesn't count as me technically playing as them, right?
Couldn't.
How do I set 2 to semi-auto though? Do I have to do that in the battle or something?
Probably, maybe. I feel like that wouldn't exactly work.
Maybe I have to plug in another controller or something. Okay, but
Probably.
then... So going in auto will probably just start me auto, but if I go in manual and then just swap to auto, does that bypass that? Or do I have to
Probably.
end it on manual?
I think it's just if you start the battle,
What's that?
then that's when it counts.
Let's see. True on chain. Be pretty easy to find, but I'm not finding. Okay. I'm at 75, so we're gonna go in manual and swap auto.
Not worth my time. Smash them! You dead yet? Winds, kill them to the bone! Winds, kill them to the bone! Frigid photon! That's all, huh?
Like I said, I think in general though, I'm gonna want to turn off like all spells for everyone, besides maybe heals. Even then, I might.
Winds, kill them to the bone!
But just because I feel like they're not gonna be evading attacks while doing it at all. And plus, I feel like that's gonna be the main thing that's gonna ruin me, is that if they're just spamming spells.
Dead yet? Smash them! Don't last! Phantoms,
Blast
rip
away
them
the
apart!
shadows of darkness! Blessed rock! Yeah, whoa there! Did I get it?
Tremble! Blast them! That's all, huh? Blades of wind, slice them!
Crash through!
Tremble! Blast them! That's all, huh? Smash them! Don't last!
Let's do this end screen.
fooling around.
Not a lot of money.
I'm serious about my fooling around.
We did get some items though. Some cheap items. A lot of them too. Let's go or see if that goes to 76 then.
Like that one soldier.
Okay, it did. Let's try going to just starting full auto and see if for some reason it also just counts. But I think we do want to swap. Do we think just swapping strategies will be good enough to make them not use spells? Like if I just set like modules and stuff to close combat?
I wouldn't bet on it.
See, but that's just annoying because it says use Switch Blast when HP is low. I don't need it when HP is low. I just want them to use it. I guess just went full. That's probably the best thing. Because the other ones don't let me just use both unless it's you decide. Maybe I just I probably just want to set it all for attacking, right? Like, because I feel like I want them just to use it to attack people. I feel like they'll use it more often than... I don't really care about targeting. Save and let's try this.
I'm extra good at beating up the weak ones.
Who wants some next? For us! Let's go! Die! Dead yet? This is the repressor!
Heaven's wrath! Out of my
For
way!
us! How's this? That's
Should
all,
probably
huh?
look up the best island to farm though.
You dead yet? Phantoms, rip them apart!
This one might just be the worst, and I don't really need to worry about strength as much.
This is the Reaper's eat it! This is the Reaper's power. Too slow! Who wants some next? Let's go! That's all, huh?
I feel like probably preferably longer ones make more sense.
That's all, huh?
I don't like how they're not using Mystic Arts though.
Frost! Dead yet? Frost! Who wants
essentially just says the rewards for every capacity just get better.
Whew. I thought we were done for.
For every capacity.
Like get more gold, more equipment, more XP.
Just doing the later ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like I just want a long fight over anything else. Maybe not. But we can try the boss one, but I'm pretty sure the only thing we have to worry about is that they reflect physical, but I don't know if they reflect anything else. So, do I just... First, let's check if this Eisen thing worked. The true Eisen. It didn't. But I only need 2 characters true, right?
Yes, I can check.
'Cause I think it's just Laphicet and Eisen. Maybe Velvet, actually?
Looks like it's just Lofty and Eisen.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay. Well, I still don't really need it right this second. Okay. So, if it is just physical, though, if I just turn off any moves that are physical, we should be good. I don't know if it's just physical, though, and that's what I'm scared of. Or maybe it's not even physical and it's like Earth. But we're gonna disable the physical moves and we're gonna find out. Why are these all physical? That's so rough. I guess anything I'm not even really gonna be using. He has a lot of non-elemental stuff.
We can do this.
To be fair, you still had to do that double semi-auto thing.
How's that? How's that? Phantoms, rip them apart! Winds, chill them to the
Why is he
bone!
spamming Bell?
You're wide open!
I'm unbeatable!
You're wide open!
I think it was just those pops that made me.
Okay, it says a keyboard and controller still only counts as one player, so you need 2 controllers.
2 controllers. And I can set up both of them. We can worry about that later. Because I could just go into some short missions, even just quick battles, and just have 2 controllers plugged in, and just have Lofty and Eisen.
Blades of wind, slice them! Let's go! You're wide open! Nothing can stop these
That was faster
fists.
than I even did it. Criminal. See, the issue is
Show 'em
with
how
that
Ifrit's
stuff. Like,
crew
I'm gonna
can
get enemies
sail.
defeated like that, and that's cool. Downside though is that without them playing defensive, I feel like they're not gonna get any sidesteps. But also, I think only a couple characters need sidesteps, so just setting them defensive would probably be the play. I would say though, as of right now, the teams I want to use. Okay. So you should write down which characters need sidesteps specifically, so I can just set up 4 people to use in defense mode, and then also which characters need like enemies defeated, because I think I have enemies defeated on some people, not all of them. But I figure I want to put enemies defeated first and just focus on trying to get that. Again, they're not using.
That could be right. Almost looks like you need enemies defeated on everyone but Eleanor.
On everyone but Eleanor?
Hmm?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just wondering how I want to do this. Because is there like... The strategies you decide, but maybe I should do when full? I feel like they're not using Mystic Arts, but I think it's just because... that. They're not going to ever use Switch Blast, I don't think. I think that's going to be something I have to actively do, which is going to be very tedious and annoying. But I guess it's not that many Switch Blasts. Let's try this and see if they'll actually use Mystic Arts.
I'll finish this now.
That's all, huh? Let's go.
I just wonder if I should lower their stats or something to make them more inclined to use stuff. They just don't seem inclined in the slightest.
Blades of wind, slice them. Eat it. Die. You're wide open. Burn. Die. You're wide open. Burn. Die or be killed. Dead yet.
If there's a way to look up how to make the Mystic Art or Switch Blast, like there's specific strategies.
This is the Reaper's power. You're wide open. Burn. Die or be killed.
They just don't want to use them.
How's that?
Come on, put up some fight, okay? I'm extra good at beating up the weak ones.
Phantoms, rip them apart.
No mercy.
Are you listening, by the way? You haven't responded to anything I've said.
Phantoms, rip them apart. Hellgate. You dead.
I don't know if I was talking to a wall or not. That's fair. Just because if I could force Switch Blast, that'd be great. Or I could force Mystic Art.
That's all, huh? Winds, kill them to the bone.
That's like the main things that are going to be tedious.
You're wide open. That's all, huh? You're wide open. Burn, die or be killed. Die. You're wide open. Let's block. Phantoms, rip them apart. How's that? Tremble and shake. Steel rumble. You're wide open. Burn.
Perfalmost victory! Perfalmost? Basically perfect, but you know, playing it cool. We can do this!
Earth, tremble and shake.
Find anything or not?
Steel rumble.
For Switch Blast? Not really. For Mystic Arts, it just says to set all of their stuff to attack.
How's that? How's that?
What do you mean, all their stuff? Oh, okay, he's using it now.
Perfect mayhem.
But what do you mean?
This is the Reaper's power.
Like, just for attacking on every one of their options.
Wide open. Who wants some next?
It is how it's set, though.
I guess this is the fastest you're getting.
I'll check the settings after this. Plus, I would have turned on the audio and then we could swap to Elsword. We might as well just stream Elsword, because I mean, we're just gonna be sitting there doing dungeons anyway. I just feel like there was one
How's this? How's this?
quarter that took forever. Don't you remember the one that took like 5 minutes to do? I mean, like, it was like, why is this wave endless?
You're wide open. You dickhead. Too slow. Barrage. How's this? Pressure.
Crash through! Ridiculous! Come on, put up some fight, okay?
I feel like I remember there being a long dungeon.
I'm not getting anything.
Yeah. I don't know. I just remember one of these things like legitimately taking like 5 minutes, and that sounds way better than like a 1-minute one. It might have been the armored one. And I also could technically turn up difficulty a bit, because maybe they'll get like lower on health or something, or just use Mystic Arts because enemies are tankier. Let's check the strategy. And what we can do, hold nothing back. When full, or attacking, close combat. Keep changing targets and sow chaos. Reduce numbers. You.
Not worth my time.
Freeze and burn! Freeze and burn! Triple burn! Spirit release! You wronged me!
Well, already a Mystic Art's kind of wild.
Fighting order! Did I get it?
Eat it! You're wide open! Burn! Die or be killed! This is the Reaper's power.
I'm unbeatable! I did it!
I just feel like the longer the stage, the better, because, like I said, they're constantly doing something in between, like, Elsword stages and stuff.
How's this? How's this?
You should also, if your Elsword's not loaded up, probably loaded up.
Oh, it's loaded.
Loading or loaded?
Loaded.
I'm hoping some of this stuff's possible without us having, like, a bunch of costumes and stuff so far.
Who wants some next?
I do feel like it's kind of the point to get us geared, right? So,
This is the Reaper's power. You dead yet?
we'll see.
Dead yet? Let's go! How's this? This is the Reaper's power. Frigid Photon! Who wants some next? Earth, tremble and shake! Geo Rumble! No escape! Crusher! Barrage! Eat it! How's this?
Freeze and burn!
Good.
Freeze and burn! Freeze and burn! I'll trouble!
Crusher! Eat it! You're wide open! Burn! This is the Reaper's power.
Crash through! Frigid pillar! Torrent! Freeze and burn!
Eat it! Eat it! Let's go!
Frigid pillar! I'll help you! I won't go easy on you! Freeze and burn! Be put on ice! Freeze and burn!
Crusher!
Elsword load up sure is lagging this thing.
Right down my head!
How's this?
It do be.
Too slow!
Stretchy, stretchy! And another one down! Crash through!
Stop staying in the horizon. Gotta fight.
Let's go! Up! Who wants some next? Who wants some next?
Is that all you got?
How's this? Die!
Ready to feel the burn?
Blades of wind, slice them! Air thrust! This is the Reaper's power. Geo Rumble! Who wants...
Now, rise! some fight, okay?
That one took like 2.5 minutes. I don't know if it was that worth it though. That's a lot of items. I don't know if that was more worth it or not though. I felt like I got a lot of items. I don't know. I'm just not necessarily looking for a bunch of items. So I'll just try the elite quarter. It's fine. Now, we gotta change some settings around. Preferably mute all audio so we don't have to hear it. Maybe we'll have sound effects for like one just so we know what's happening. Can we make it not full? Is that an option here? Does that mean I can? Because tabbing in and out might be kind of annoying. Maybe not that bad actually. I don't know if it's gonna interfere with the game though. That's my only issue. We can turn on a little bit of sound for oh sorry, just have this muted. Rivals Tycoon? Criminal.
Where?
Here. You guys get some relaxing music while watching some crazy Berseria gameplay. The question is, honestly, which one do we want to stream? We can just sit here and let the Berseria run like this.
And it'll just make it look like you're really good at the game.
Uh-huh. Think bug leave. Well, I guess that's for the Berseria part. We're gonna end the recording. We'll probably do a recording to see what exactly happens post all of this stuff, but this is literally all the grinding's gonna be, so we'll stop that. But like I said, well, I'll probably stitch together a video so things make sense. If not, the next video will make a lot more sense. But yeah. I'll tell you how it goes at least in the next one, or just stitch it. You'll see. Well. It's future Javen with lack of sleep and 20 more hours in the game. But what's weird is it's been less than 24 hours. Yeah. The playtime I think is around 134 to 100%, which I think beats out the majority of like completionists or whatever. I don't know. I think I have more because I definitely had over 100 hours and I have over 35 here. But I think on Steam it said I had like 134. Anyway, I just want to give final thoughts and say that I did get every achievement, all of them, 100% of the game. Why you Eleanor? I decided to swap at the very end just so I would be doing this on Eleanor. Okay. Yeah. Because I was just Velvet the whole time, but I decided for the video I'd swap to Eleanor. I gotta get that clue fade. Oh, look, and then faces you. Anyway. I don't know. Still kind of bad, dude. Still kind of bad. Anyway. Getting the achievements is pretty awful. For anyone trying to do it themselves. Don't. Yeah, pretty much don't. I will say that for the true characters, okay, well first, some of the worst stuff is the Mystic. or not Mystic, the achievement to get every single title for every single character level 2, which means you're supposed to have 3 of those things unlocked. Like if you look to the side under the requirements, like the title skills, you have to have 3 of the skills. You just don't have to have the 4th. So it means you have to keep getting whatever it says until you reach it. Mystic Arts, very annoying. And if you don't know, you should try and chain Mystic Arts, because that makes it a lot easier. And you can even, if you only need 2 characters to chain, you can just go back and forth. So that makes it pretty easy. As well as Slash Beat is pretty good because it always resets your gauge, and you're gonna be farming Slash Beat anyway for Tails Coin. But the main recommendation I wanted to give for a lot of these things is just you can go to one of the class 4 islands and you can just set your person to auto and just have your team set up and they'll just complete the stuff for you. So just kind of have it set to what you need. Like if you need the whatever arts, you can just set them to use specifically arts. If you need like stuns, just have stuns enabled. You can also disable people's arts to make them not be able to attack at all if you just need like 2 people to do stuff, like get kills. Even still though, some of the stuff's definitely gonna be easier to do manually, but it definitely saves a lot of time when trying to get some things. Another good tip is that you can set them to manual and then go into a fight and then go to auto and it counts towards the true achievement, which is like playing the character 150 times and you have to do that with all of them. But you can also plug in a controller or a second controller and go to the control settings. Go to, well, I guess it won't show up here. But you can go to scroll to the side player 2 and then you can just put your controller's input and then you can set however you want controls. So I would recommend the easiest way is just set them both to manual and then just do like a really early stage on like your main person and don't even worry about it because it's faster than like AFKing. And the 150 battles go by pretty quick. But if you haven't even started the game yet, I would recommend just play a character 150 times and then swap to the next character and then just play the game like that. At least in like New Game Plus or something. Because then you can just kind of passively be getting that. And that's one of the more annoying ones, as well as enemies defeated. You're going to get more enemies defeated on your main, like whoever you're playing. So, would definitely recommend that. And then after that, probably going when you're not playing them is the drop rate title. Just then if they are getting kills, then they can get the item drops, which plays into the title. But yeah, that's my main tips for that. Then some of the things you're just gonna have to go out of your way, like weak point combos or tax evaded. You can figure out whatever way you want to do that. But yeah, another reason why I would just recommend just swapping characters after that, so then you can try and get some of the progress on all of it to make it a lot easier. Besides that, the Tails Coin achievement is abysmally awful because there's no consistent way to get high amounts. People even recommend the mug match, but mug match is genuinely awful. Like, it is terrible. I hated it so much. And even doing like the tier 1 is annoying. So, and you gotta do tier 2 for like 1,000. But yeah, or you can do like some weird of like slow mode. But yeah. But the main thing you're gonna be doing is slash beat. But if you're going for all achievements, you're gonna be doing a New Game Plus anyway to have like the extra XP and money and all that good stuff. But try and reach the highest you can and try to milk this for all it's worth before going into a new game because it resets. And I would also recommend doing pretty much every challenge at least once on like everything, like say Champloo. Definitely go for because these numbers reset and they give like a good amount of Tails coins. I don't know about card battles because I didn't try those again. But the like Bienfu bounce, you can get like a couple, and if you beat records, you get like an extra like 200 or 400 coins. And the geoboard races, like completing the initial one, you at least get like 400 or something like that, plus whatever you got from the race. So, yeah. The consistent way that I found though, besides just slamming your head in the slash beat, is just doing stage 1 here. I chose the wrong character. It's kind of worked. I'll choose the right one now. But even that gave me 110, which, yeah. But specifically, there might be some other characters, even faster ones. I choose Champloo. but just a well-timed spirit drop. Okay, or a really mistimed spirit drops because it's such a semi-auto. It genuinely does mess you up. Yeah, while locking onto the enemy. So you can do that, and then you just get the sales coins. Technically, I got more, a little bit more, just because I beat the time. But yeah, that's like a consistent way to get small coins. However, doing all of them and trying to beat your record is good because you get a good amount. But this specifically, you can do this, and I recommend. Okay, well I actually changed my moves, didn't I? Okay, well I can. But I did messed up again. This thing is very uncooperative. So it's like 2 paper rocks, and then instantiality, and then you have to wait because it'll like bug out to like here, and then do 2 more. It's gonna pop, and then this should be the last one. And I usually do stigma, but I don't have it set right now. Okay, maybe there's another one. But it's basically just keeping up paper rocks and doing insubstantiality, and then there will be that. I think I mistimed it because that balloon usually doesn't get it, but even that gave me 150. I'll try and do a little bit better here. But since you beat the record at like a crazy amount, they don't really expect you to get. Legitimately, I got like 20,000 for just beating the timer, just by doing that. And I think this kills that, but I don't think it kills the small one. Yeah, usually this is why I do stigma, but I don't have it equipped. There's probably also some easier moves, but as you can see, my best time was like 30. But it legitimately, I'll read the number out on my screenshot that I took. I figured it'd be relevant. Yeah, literally 20,700. You can see right here. And that was for getting a 34, when my best time was already 47. So I think it's more based on the best time, not really how much you beat your old time by. I'm assuming. It's like, wow, that's crazy to get a 34, so you get like bonus. But this is the main thing, is doing the champ loons and trying to get them like really fast before doing New Game Plus, because you don't really need attack power. You just need to be like level like 70 or something whenever you get all your arts, and then you can do a lot of that bullcrap. And like, say if I would have had that influx of coins, like those 20,000, then that would have made a lot of that farming easier, because you need to get 200,000 of those coins. So yeah, it's pretty bad. Um, yeah, enhancing is also a really annoying thing you have to do, because you need to enhance and dismantle for the titles, as well as for each of the characters they have a equipment, like highest equipment equipped, something like that. Where is this? Ah, okay, it was literally right there. But you have to get 30 for the tier 2. So recommended, just find something cheap and then learn the enhance system, because it's really not that complicated or annoying to get. Like, it doesn't take that much time, like, at all. It seems really overwhelming because of how bad the enhance system feels, but to get a lot of this stuff, it's not that bad. But one thing you can do is a lot of the boots are like for all characters, so you only have to enhance one. So I would recommend getting some pair of boots to +7, some ring +7, just because they're shared between like all characters if you just choose the right boots and not the specific gendered ones. Like, I think like this are only for some of the characters. You could probably get them higher too. I just chose to get them +7 because that's all I needed. But I would recommend getting these two at least +7, where you can get the weapons and accessories less. But again, some of these are universal to at least the genders, so you only have to enhance one of these things. Because I wasn't really thinking about that and just enhance multiple, because again, it really wasn't that complicated. But just to make it easier and save time, you only have to get one, because they don't all have to have it equipped at the same time. You just they need to have it equipped at once. Main thing is you're gonna have to do an accessory and a weapon. But again, if you just do cheap ones and farm the materials quickly, it's not bad. Even if you wait until you're at the very, very end of the game, even just AFKing those like class 4 islands, you'll just get like the same materials if you just keep farming the same one. Then you can just do whatever strategies. Like I said, you'll learn the enhanced system because you'll have to. Um, what was the other? I feel like I was looking through here and it came to me that it was gonna be annoying. What was it? Oh, combatant swaps. Yeah. So if you guys, I assume you know what a combatant swap is. If not, it's basically pressing up or down on the D-pad to swap to the characters that are out of battle, and it does like this annoying animation. However, you can use the D-pad left and right to swap the character that you're changing. And if you choose a character that isn't the person you're using, it won't play the animation and everything. So you can literally basically just press like up, 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 and each one of those counts as a combatant swap. I thought that was going to be one of the worst things to go for since I didn't use it in the game. The animations took forever. But especially if you wait until you enhance, like say Aizen right now, because he's using the title for the Mystic Arts, you get 2 maximum BG, and he has like just some stats for having the enhanced armor, like the bonuses. He has 9 BG, so it's just he can swap more because it costs like one of them. So it's like if I needed him in Laffy set, I could just go up, 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 literally a bunch, and that's each one counts. So I usually put a little bit of like a buffer second at least before doing it, just in case like it doesn't register as I'm swapping at all. I'm pretty sure it would. It's just to be safe. You know, do what you will, but that's just what I did and it worked. So I think that sums up a lot of the annoying stuff that made it bad. I mean, obviously going for items is annoying because you kind of have to farm for stuff. To be fair, one thing that you should not forget though is that all of these things count as items. So yeah. So yeah, if you're getting tails, or if you're gonna be getting tails coins anyway, make sure to be buying these outfits, especially because then you get to skip out on doing the what's it mini game, the serving mini game, which is awful. I don't have like the last 2 outfits because the mini game sucks, but I didn't have to do it. Nope. Not even a little bit. What else? Farming money is also easy because just going to the elite quarter for the class 4 island and just setting all of them to auto. Once you're like high level, you just kill everything, get like 200,000, like every like minute or two, and then you just redo it, and then you kind of build up money really quickly, and then you can just save beforehand, talk to one of these guys, and just buy a bunch of elixirs with all the money, and then you can level up your shop really quick. So, because like I have a ton of money on me, and that's just from farming those random places and random things. So that makes the money achievement basically a non-factor since you're going to be farming enemies anyway. I don't think there's anything too much. I think it was more about like when starting playthroughs, make sure just to look at like the top left, how there's the chest icon. Just get every chest in every area whenever you go to a new area, because some of them for the achievement for opening the chest, wherever this chest is, I feel like it was in a, yeah, new treasure obtained 290. Some of them say that restock chests don't count, but that's just not true. Because I'm pretty sure the only reason I got some of these was even going into like the. Well, I'm just saying they do work. It's just like the initial, I think. Because I don't know if it was the cat's dungeon. It doesn't say restocking. Just restock. It's actually a perfect way to describe it. Yeah, I still think it's a bit. Yeah, definitely misleading. Because a lot of times you just won't pick up chests because you don't need it because you know it's like, oh, just gonna drop life bottles, put them full of them. But regardless, you should open them. I don't know if you have to actually claim and like reject them, but like chances are the items aren't gonna be worth it anyway. So Yeah, but I didn't claim it on this because it's New Game Plus. But if you just do it the first time, you're safe. And if for some reason you miss a chest because you can't reach it because you need like something you don't know, which is chances are it's the geoboard, just write down the area name. Just do it. Do this for every game. Yeah, do it for every game because there's a lot of ones. I'd also recommend, like for any game, look up missables beforehand. Um, because even if you know your end game's tedious because you didn't follow a guide, do everything perfectly, like some of these tips I'm giving you now, um, it's always a good idea to look up missables because it'll legitimately ruin your experience, especially if you're going for all achievements. Just because of missables. So, yeah, we've definitely had a couple of those. Not in this game specifically, but other games. Golf 100 Heroes. That was one of the worst ones. And Legends of Mana, but that was okay. Not as okay, but it was. Yeah. But like I said, I would just recommend getting every chest and then writing down whichever ones you can't get. Um, cat chest is not as bad because there's a cat chest in like literally every area besides like a very select few. And so even if you don't have the cat souls for it, if you just walk up to it, it'll show up on the map there. I'm pretty sure it might even show if they're opened. But yeah, then you can see here. And then, like I said, chests will show up on the map too once you get them. So you'll know if they're just restocked chests, like say this one right here. It'll probably, yeah, I was showing you. That's one of them. But like say, if I came back here when it restocked, it'll just say 4 and I'll just have one discovered. But if you come to an area like this, then you know they're restocked because you see, oh, there's 4 chests in this area, but I got 4 chests. So, yeah, for the most part, though, if you just get every chest in area and then write down the areas you missed, it'll be really safe and it shouldn't even be that big of an issue at all. But I just stopped towards the end of the game because I didn't want random items. And I didn't think I needed all chests. So, yeah. But besides those little tips and tricks, I think it's fine. But overall, just like the final thoughts on the game, it is fun, and a lot of the systems are pretty cool. I still think that a lot of these extra achievements are unnecessary and take way too long. Again, like 135 hours seems a bit unnecessary, just when a majority of it, like 80 hours of gameplay for just the story, and then the rest is just doing stupid stuff for achievements. But I think the main things that I despise, besides like the Tails coin system being bad, the enhance system being unnecessary, is specifically with the enhance system and even these titles. Is say I completed these now, right? And they give some cool effects. And like now at the end of the game, I can actually enhance some stuff and like get some of the cool effects from all the uh whatever things, the Glockites and stuff, specifically the armor ones, because they give like some cool bonuses, like make things cheaper, initial souls. Like again, I can start with like 6 just souls, and it like starts me with them to where it's like I start a fight and I have like max, and it's like really cool, and also having 9 BG and some of the other effects. But it's like the only way you're doing that is at the end of the game on like a new game plus, and then it's like now what do I do with this like stuff? Because like I just haven't been able to experience any gameplay with actually having all these souls and stuff. Because throughout the game it's just unnecessary, and you're constantly changing equipment, especially because you're trying to build a mastery. And then it's like, now that I have all these things like Shadow Stepper, it's like, oh, that's cool. But it's like, I'm never going to use this title because now I'm just done the game. So it just feels super unnecessary. And it's like, same with even getting some of these like unnamed accessories. Like, it's cool to have because, you know, it's like, oh, you farm for it, but they don't carry over in the new game plus. Like, the titles do and like stuff, but it's like your enhanced stuff doesn't carry over. Like, say you'd have to go into a new game and enhance stuff. Then again, you're going to be wanting to wait until you get good gear. And so you're going to be waiting until the end of the game, like the EX dungeon, where you can get the unnamed stuff. Then you have to farm forever to get it. And then you have to farm for materials to enhance it. And then now there's nothing to do. So I just feel like it's kind of a bad system. And I feel like Tales games kind of do that with like a lot of like the devil arms and stuff. To be fair, I know some games like keep them. So it's like cool and like rewarding. But it's like this, I just feel like is a really, the enhanced system is kind of bad because of that. Because again, if they would have made it specifically, again, I don't really care about like stats, like who cares or enhanced, but like the extra BG and souls and like some of the cool Glockite effects, Because again, just having more stuff, it makes the game more interesting and cool, and it feels like there's a sense of progression. Like you're actually growing stronger when you just have more basics actually you can do in succession, and being able to do 2 mystic arts in like a chain. And I feel like that's like a cool thing that the game should just progress. So I feel like making it locked behind enhancements is stupid. I feel like they could have had a completely different system behind it of like making you unlock it. That would have been way more interesting. Because I feel like it kind of ruins it. Like the game doesn't have a good flow with a lot of that. It feels like you're basically just playing the same game from start to finish. Like the arts are just like really the only thing that changed. Like your gear doesn't feel different. You know, the effects don't feel different. It just kind of feels like you're playing the same game until you get Mystic Arts and then the higher Mystic Arts, and then you can do the chains and all that. But that's probably one of my biggest issues. Like the blockade effects are cool, it's just you're never gonna get them. Like I didn't get to experience it in the first playthrough or New Game Plus until the very end. So and that's bad. But then yeah, like I said, a lot of the unnecessary things. Like getting some of the chests, cool, whatever. I was fine with that. Getting a lot of items is like kind of really unnecessary. But I definitely think getting all the titles to tier 2 is a completely unnecessary thing. I think the Tails coins completely unnecessary. I think the gold is also a bit unnecessary, but that's not even that bad with like the farming method. But even still, just like, why that much? So you have to play just yeah. And same with like maxing out the shop. Like I feel like for achievements, not all of them, but you can't. Like I said, you can have like one annoying achievement. That's what I feel like you're allowed in games. You're allowed one stupid achievement that is like, oh, you have to do a bunch of grinding for this gold, or oh, get to level 200. You can't just have like 8 of them. You can't. You can't just have 8 terrible achievements. Like, again, get 1 million. Why does it have to be 20 million? You know? And even with Tails coins, like, why does it have to be 200,000? Or, yeah, why can't it just be 100? It's like, all it does is makes everything worse. When it's like, you're still gonna have to grind and it'd be tedious. It's just not as grindy and tedious. And it's like, why does a shop have to be that expensive to max out? It's like, you're already putting additional effort in, like, a lot of additional effort. So it's like, why does it have to be a ton? Like, a crazy amount. I just think a lot of it was unnecessary and really kind of ruined the game for me. Like, to where I would never go for the achievements again, right? And never tell anyone to go for them because it's just bad. And if like Zestria or any of the other Tales games have similar achievements, I'm just strictly not going to do them because they're not going to be fun. They're not going to be interesting. They're going to be a waste of time and bad. And I just feel like it's a really bad showing of what you could really do for achievements. And like I said, in terms of base gameplay, my real complaints is that the soul system is just a bit bad with, you know, getting stunned or inflicted with stuff makes you lose it. I just feel like that's probably the worst part. And also that how OP stun is against you. Because I feel like even in like Vesperia and like Symphonia, it's like you get stunned, you know, you're not dead instantly. This is pretty much if you get stunned, you're dead. And you can get stunned so easily by anything. And so I feel like it's really, really terrible. So, but you kind of get used to it, but I still don't think it's a good system at all. But then lose souls. Essentially, it's the whole flow of the game. So like you gain souls, you lose souls by your own, you know, actions. Yeah, I just feel like it should be more about you and not just randomly get hit by a stray or something just hit you because you're stuck in end lag and then you just get stunned, lose everything. Now it's unfun. Because like you can't play the game with like 2 souls. It's like don't go below 2 souls, but you can't play the game with 1 soul. Yeah. To be fair, I did learn that focus helps infliction rate. And that's like one of the main things that's good. But it's also like, when are you going to be able to build for specifically focus at all? Again, I'm just going whatever's the best for my magic attack or physical attack, depending on the character. And like say, I had the unnamed boots because they give focus now. But again, that's the unnamed boots. I've never worried about focus once. You know, maybe that's a problem, but it's like, I'd have to go back and make my gear worse or like less defensive just so I can have a bit of focus for a chance to inflict stuff. I don't know. I just think a lot of the systems were bad. But it's like, I do like most of the characters in the game. Gameplay wise, I think all the characters are pretty fun. Eleanor is the only character that I feel like is like really, really bland and basic in terms of like just character. To be fair, I think the ones that carry are Magulu Eyes and Rokuro. I think they're like actually really good, unique characters for the series. I just think Eleanor is supposed to be like kind of like the moral compass kind of character, and just kind of an afterthought. And then Velvet's just too main character coded, and Laffyzette's too plot character coded. I feel, not to say that they're like bad characters, but it's like Velvet just yeah. I feel like these three characters like actually able to be cool and interesting, while Velvet's forced to be the main character and Laffyzette's forced to be there for the plot. And it's like they do have cool moments for sure. Same with Eleanor. It feels like they're way too like they're there for a reason instead of just being good characters. So, um, yeah, pretty much that. But overall, I'd say these characters are pretty memorable, and I liked a lot of the like art systems and stuff. I thought a lot of them were really interesting. Some of them seemed unnecessary. Like I just feel like there's a lot of clutter when you're not going to be using like 2/3 of the kits. Because some of them is just like easy replaces. You know, like say Rending Strike, you could replace for anything. Like the first like couple of moves you're never gonna use. But then some characters like, oh, what was it? Armor Crusher, you're gonna be using the entire time. And like Magulu, it's like Spirit Drop. Like out of like all these moves, the ones I used the most was Spirit Drop and the Twin Spirits. At least I used. I don't know if I used any better ones, but just because Twin Spirits fast and easy burn infliction, and then Spirit Drop because it is insanely good. Easily the best, like, probably the best hidden art in the entire game. So, yeah. But then, like, some of the spells are really just, like, basic, and the only reason you're using lesser spells is simply because of how long they take to cast, but not really because they're, like, any better or worse. And then you get random ones that are really good. Huh.
I feel like that's not bad though.
I feel like it's not terrible. It's just, like, it's weird. Because, like, say, I would just want a more powerful Aqua Split. Just a quick lock on with a bunch of
Especially
range.
the weird thing is like you're supposed to be using stealth to make your spells fast, not just use faster spells.
Yeah, that's one thing that I don't like though, is that it doesn't really seem like you get to use stuff faster unless you equip the titles for it to make you cast faster. Because I was hoping maybe Focus Effect did that. I'm like, oh, maybe I'm missing out, but it doesn't. Um, but yeah, whatever titles like this, Thar Cast, it's like those are insane because it feels like it makes a big difference. Um, and it's just like really good. But again, it feels like a lot of times, like say, as much as I like using whatever move just because it's good, like say on my like Explode's pretty good, and the Final Embrace is pretty good, but Final Embrace, it's like a weird hitbox to where it's like if enemies moving, it's useless. You're spending a long time to not even hit them. And it's like Aqua Split's good, except it has like a limited range. So it's like Flood Ball's the best, but then it's like a wall, but the wall's so unnecessary. But it's like Flood Ball's gonna be the one I'm going if they're weak to water. And it's like with fire, it's like Crown Fire is just the best. It's like a perfect speed and does a ton of damage, just you have to be close. The only time you're not going to be using this and you're going to be using like Blood Moon instead is simply if you need to keep your distance. But like Explode is way too slow and just not worth it in terms of damage. And honestly, the mines are pretty good if you can set them up. But it's like, again, you're not going to be staying near the enemy being able to cast. Like Water Mine and Fire Mine you can do pretty much instantly. But Gravity Mine just takes too long, even though it's, again, a really good move. So it's like they want you to set up the mines where you're standing to where then if you get approached, all that stuff happens. But it's like it's just such like a random thing to have set up. So I don't know. And like I said, then there's characters like Velvet, where it's like some of them are mostly just for weakness, and that's probably why they have a lot of arts just for weakness. But I feel like it's kind of just a bad system doing it like that, because like all you're making people do is choose bad arts they don't want to use that are worse, but they're gonna use it because they have to for the weak combos. Yeah. So it's like, well, it's supposed to be an interesting system. It actually takes away all the choice. And it's supposed to be, oh, we don't want you just using your best arts every time. But it's like, that's what we want to do. And sometimes I'll even use the better arts instead of using the weakness just because I prefer it. Yeah. I think weaknesses. Plus, it's also stupid because the weakness chain. Because, like, I didn't really abuse it, but, you know, thinking about it is, like, I usually stun an enemy before doing the Mystic Art chain, but if you just hit the weakness combo, then you're also just getting a huge multiplier on it. So it's like if you stun and break it, but it's like a lot of enemies aren't going to be worth it. And plus, like when you're just casually playing and fighting bosses, it's so unnecessary. And then plus, there's if you play in like higher difficulties, like it'll be difficult, but then you can't inflict anything, or they're guarding constantly to where you can't even hit the weakness combo. So it's just like it's so not worth it. And like your teammates, even when aiming for weaknesses, aren't like super good at it. So I just feel like the weakness system is kind of bad. I feel like again in some games it's fine. Like even in Vesperia, since it was one of my first Tales games, I didn't really know how weaknesses worked. I didn't really know like enemies really had weaknesses. Like I obviously would magic lens, but I didn't really think it's like, oh, you need to do this. This is like your best move 100%. But I also didn't know you could like disable arts and stuff like that. Because I wasn't like looking into all the systems like strategy and even like arts and going into here and looking through and be like, oh, I can disable these ones and stuff like that. But it's like I feel like Vesperia did it pretty good because again, it's just certain arts are an element. That's all you need to worry about. But it's like this, I feel like it just makes it a bit too complicated having arts for certain elements and certain things, especially when they can resist certain things. Like, oh, I need to fight an Apotus. Oh, I have two Apotus physical moves, but they actually reflect physical, or they are resistant to it, to where I actually need to use wind and earth.
You mean you don't have to worry about if it's hidden, martial, or casting, or its element, or its if it's physical or magical.
Yeah, that's why I like. I think they said how it was in Zestria, where it's just hitting one weakness builds up the chain, which I feel like's cool because I feel like it's interesting to have some like you just inflict the weakness and then you can do whatever spell, and I think that's a cool concept because again, that's even how it is in Octopath for the most part. It's like obviously doing more damage when they're not shielded, but it's like you're just using it to break them, and then you can do whatever you want, and to where I feel like that's good. Um, Because I feel like again, like say if it's like, oh, it is a POTUS, so I hit it with a POTUS, now it's broken. Now I can hit it with whatever. That's how it should work. That's what makes sense to me. And then it's like you have options because it's like, oh, I can use this because they're snakes, or oh, I can use this because they're weak to water. And so you get that choice, and then you can use stuff. And I feel like that's more interesting and strategic than being like, okay, let's find which character has the chain for it, or disable everyone's arts where they're only using Earth moves. You know, I just find that tedious.
Let's get just go stick to it to one.
Yeah, yeah. It's tough. And so I just feel like it's a very they made so many of the systems really complex for it really not being like needed or like fleshed out enough for it to be good. So I feel like it just doesn't work. But I don't know. It's not like a terrible game by any means. Like I don't really see myself replaying Berseria. Like I see myself replaying Vesperia and Arise and Symphonia 2. Symphonia maybe. I mean, it's not like a bad game, but it's like if I was having the Tails itch, it wouldn't be Berseria or Symphonia, I don't think. I feel like I would need a very specific like mood to want to play Symphonia. But yeah. Anyway, I just figured I'd give my final thoughts. I think it's worth the buy if it's on sale for like, less than $10. It's a fun game. However, just know that the main story itself is a long story and that the achievements, if you like can't play a game without getting achievements, then I would just not recommend buying it. However, if you don't really care about achievements, you just want like a fun game. The story is pretty good at sometimes, other times not really that great. But again, cheap game, cheap fun game, not too bad. But I would definitely recommend it if it's like again under $10. But I would definitely not recommend going for achievements. Not at all. But I'll stitch this together with the old video at some point. But feels great to be done. I'll tell you that for sure. I will see you guys later. Ribbit peace.